Hey everyone, welcome back to Mr. Holland's class, where today we are doing a UFLI lesson, doing lesson 82, where we're spelling the letter sounds that say the ER. So it's spelled ER, IR, UR, and also OR can say when it comes after a W. So we'll talk about that. The ER, IR, and UR spellings are introduced in a different lesson, but today we're going to work on all of those with the WOR. So we're going to start by doing our phonological awareness, or phonemic awareness as they call it, which means that we're just playing with the sounds in our head. We're not looking at them, reading them. We're just listening to them and trying to work them out in our head. So first, we're going to start with our blending. So I will give you the sounds. You take them and put them together. Firm. Good, there we go. I'll try not to make the weird sound. It's just a habit. T. Work. Good. Now we're going to segment them, which means we're going to take them apart. So I'll say the word, and then you say it, you'll repeat it, and then you'll break it apart. So if I say turn, you say turn. Good. Blur. Word. Worth. Oh, that one, they were trying to trick you. It has 5 letters, but only 3 sounds. So very good. Now we're going to move on to our visual drill. So everyone needs to look up here and tell me, what does this say? Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about this a little bit earlier. This also says or. Also, very good. What about this? R. What about this? Ooh, this one's tricky. You can say yeah, it says yeah, but it could also say E or I. Very good. What about this? J. Very good. G or J. What about also says what about K or S? Very good. What about A or A? I or I? O or A? E or E? U or Very good. Okay, very good. Now, you don't have to do all those. Like if you like, oh, we always do the vowels. You can just skip over those if you want to. But it's always good for us to practice that when you see a U, it doesn't automatically just say it can say you. You just have to look at the other spelling. So let's move on to auditory. So this is where I'm going to say it and you're going to tell me what is spelled like. So if I say, how do you spell or? You would say O-R or O-R-E. Very good. What spells R? A-R. Notice how you hear only the R, but the A makes the R say its name. So what says J? J or G or D-G-E. Very good. The G-E or D-G-E can say J. What can say I? I or Y. Very good. Like at the end of the word fly. It's not spelled with a long I. It's spelled with Y that says I. Very good. Last one. What says ch? C-H or T-C-H. Very good. Moving on, we're going to go to our blending board. So I need to put mine up on the board here. And I need you to tell me, some of these are going to be nonsense words, so don't panic. But what does this say? Mar. Very good. What does this say?
Tar.
What does this say?
Tart.
Tart. Kind of like something sour. Tart. What does this say?
Star.
How about this?
Start.
What about this?
Sat.
What about this?
Hat.
What about this?
Hat.
What about this?
Hat.
Oh, very good. What about this?
Fish.
What about this?
Fish.
What about this?
Midge.
Midge. If you guys don't know what a midge is, then you're not local to like the Great Lakes. Midges are like little bugs that are by our houses because we live by the lake. But anyway, that's besides the point. That's what a midge is. But anyway, what is this?
Midge.
You guys are so mid right now. What about this?
Mile.
Oh, this is from a different UFLI lesson, but this LD makes the I say I, so it's mild, not mild, it's mild. What about this one?
Wild.
Wild. What about this?
Will.
Will. It changes back. What about this? Wish. What about this? Which is the ES says as because it shh. Okay, last one. What about this?
Swishes.
He swishes the ball and wins the game. That's all for us. So we're gonna move on to our actual concept. Hey, I don't want to do that. Okay, let me go back to my sunshine. There we go. Okay, now we're going to our new concept, which for us isn't so new. It's just that we're practicing these things all together. Although the OR part is new. So, it's like R. R says like at the beginning of a word. But has a little bit of a different. Okay, it's actually, if you look at the picture of the lips, you don't see the bottom teeth, but when you say you see both sets of teeth. That's how it should look. And here's our spellings for that. ER says and it goes in the middle of a syllable like verb or fern. It can go at the end of a word like her or per or like brother ends with ER. But it can also be spelled with an IR, which can go in the middle of a syllable like girl, girl, and bird, bird. It can also go at the end like sir or stir. Now let's look at the UR. Goes in the middle like turn and hurt. It can go at the beginning of a few words like earn or urge. And it can go at the end like fur or blur. Did you notice that the ER and the IR that we talked about were never at the beginning? That's important to know. All right, so now let's talk about the OR, because you might be thinking, wait, OR says or, it doesn't say But today we're talking about how it can say when there's a W in front of it. A couple of the words we already have this. When I said work and world earlier when we were blending, work is spelled with OR, W-O-R. The W can make it say So let's take a look. If it begins with a W and then has a sound, it can be W-O-R like work or word. We also had world on there and we also had worth, all spelled like that. But these spellings all say But you have to remember that this says when it has a W, otherwise it says or. So we're not going to write anything down. We'll do that tomorrow, but watch me read this. Her, third, hurt, and work. Now you guys read with me. Girl, first, after, over, turn, and blur. Before I skirt away from this, because this is the end of the lesson, but notice how over, it has two syllables. Over. Because there's two vowel sounds. Even though it doesn't say the R-controlled vowels do make a vowel sound. So just like after, this has a vowel sound, and is another vowel sound. So after has two syllables in it. I know it gets kind of tricky, but you got to know that the R-controlled vowels still make their vowel sound. So that is all. Wait, I thought that was it. We got some bonus ones. What does this say? Word, world, paper, Worker. Oh, that has both of them. That is and again. Cool. We are all done for today. So give yourselves a round of applause, pat on the back, kiss on your brain, and we will see you on day 2. Bye, everyone.